Oh, shoot.
Oh, snap.
We done did it again. We back.
Two.
What up with cam 1, 2, or 3? I don't know the numbers. What up with this middle cam? What up with this other cam right here? You feel me? It's your boy, Deshaun.
And Demiere, right. We here. Right here, right now.
Unrehearsed, right here, right now. We back with the second collab episode, and we getting into a lot today. We got new music. I don't know which one to point at.
Yeah, facts. I think I'm gonna focus on my own cam. I'm gonna focus on my own cam now.
Just kind of look somewhere in this general area right here. But we here. Shout out Brandon behind the cams running this awesome setup. I wish you guys could see what we see. You know what I'm saying? It has a nice little background for us.
Yeah. I think this is the first time I've seen a more of a background behind the camera than in front of the camera.
It's usually
a lot going on back there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got this dope, you know what I'm saying, this dope background. Y'all probably can't pick up the music that the neighbors is playing, but they playing the slaps.
Yeah, some
slaps
bangers
over
for
here,
real.
bro.
Some real bangers.
We vibing right now. But welcome back to another episode of Unrehearsed / Right Here, Right Now collab edition.
Lord.
Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to the whole Transparency gang. Helping us do all of this. You know what I'm saying? This is not a one-man operation, though y'all might mainly see me in front of the camera. It's not a one-man operation. So much love to everybody. You feel me? How you doing, bruh?
Man, I'm feeling phenomenal, man. It's been a great day. Yeah, as he gets his notes together, my notes is right here doing what it's supposed to do. Nah, but man, it's been a great day. It's real nice outside. You know, it's always a great day to have a great conversation. So
yeah, I can't wait for this one because not only are we doing another collab, as I make sure our audios continue to look straight, we got some new music out there, bro.
Yes,
I'm
Lord.
so happy, dog. I don't know about you, but I done held on to my joint so long, bro.
yeah, nah, same.
If you remember on the last episode we did, I was like, when I release, I actually have a moment where I'm like,
Yeah.
And so now I'm like,
Yeah, that feeling of like
Finally.
it's out there now.
It's out there. No more holding on to it. No more trying to time stuff. No more delays. This joint is out. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I just dropped a brand new mixtape. Much of it we're going to get into today, along with Demiere's new music as well and everything that we got going on and what we've had going on since we last met up. But my new project is called Long Live, 10-track joint featuring many dope multiple up-and-coming artists as well. Shout out my boy JM3. Done multiple records with him on his stuff, but now I finally got one. That's another one where I'm like, I finally got one with him on my song, and he just bodies the hook on this track called Oh Yeah. Shout out Moriana Jack, hold down the hook on Sacrifice. Shout out Katie the Poet. We got another one.
Big features.
Big feature, you know what I'm saying? We did a record, our first record we did together was called Once More off of Transparent 2, an old project of mine back like 3 years ago, and we linked up back for this one again, and the big one shocked my dad.
Yeah.
Mac Mall, much love and shouts out to him for coming through. You ready to get into everything?
Let's get into it. I'm actually glad that you started off saying your project because I have thousands of questions.
Word. Okay.
Thousands of questions. But let's start off easy, simple. I have no idea because sometimes the question, like you can ask one thing and then it just divulges from there.
Yeah.
So the first thing I wanted to ask was like, out of these 10 tracks, what was the song that kind of started you off in this project journey? Let's start there.
Oh, like the first one I made?
Yeah,
Or
okay, because sometimes, right, when you're making a project, you either know that you're going into project mode, right, or you're putting pieces together,
and it becomes that.
Yeah, so I'm kind of intrigued on like what is the background of that. Did you like, oh, these songs sound good with this, and then it would make a story, or it was like, boom, I'm in project mode?
Yeah, well, I was in project mode. I had this idea of, I call it a three-headed monster. Just because I don't really have an official name for it. But I call it a three-headed monster, and I broke it up into 3 phases since the three-headed monster. Phase 1 was The Dream, so the project I put out last year. And then Phase 2 is Long Live, which is out now. Y'all go stream it, links in the description. So I made The Dream last go-around, and I felt like at the time I was like on creative fire because there was a lot of things that we was trying to do behind the scenes, and it's whatever. We independent, not like we under contractual every obligation, but we had some labels looking at us.
Fire.
And so the dream at the time behind the scenes was getting a big push, just trying to make some stuff happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was getting a big push, and so I was playing the radio game and all of that good stuff, and so, you know, that one was like major, and it because I set the bar so high because I was trying to impress, you know, entities and stuff like that, and it was like it was multiple labels looking. It was like I got to the point where it's like, okay, I'm done with this project. I'm cool with it ending here, but at the same time, I'm not done creating.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, package this up, send it off to my boy Junior. Shout out Junior, who mixes and masters everything. Sent that project into mixing and mastering, but I was still on such a creative high. I was like, I gotta keep going. Keep going. So I think the first song that was actually made for Long Live was actually, and I know we're trying to start it off easy and not get deep, but I think the first song was Laissez-Faire.
Oh, but bro, you have no idea. I have so many questions about this. Like, that was the number one song that I had the most questions on. That's actually insane that you said that.
It was if I remember correctly, it was Laissez-Faire, and I want to say after that was Sacrifice.
Okay, beautiful.
The original version. And then I think it was just up from there and just kept making records from there.
Wow. That's crazy. It was so funny. I literally purposefully put it like in my notes. I put it last just because I knew this was going to be the one. Well, I hope you're ready to open up.
Heck yeah. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, because as soon as I heard it, I was like, okay, this isn't made up. You know,
right.
This is something. I even had to look it up. Like, what does this mean? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so first, explain to the people what Laissez-Faire is before I actually get into this.
So to put it in simplistic general terms, it's kind of like this attitude. It's really how I learned it was like, you know, laissez-faire government is kind of a government term. At least that's how we learned it in school. But it's really just this attitude where it's like you're not interfering.
Yeah.
You're not interfering with whatever's going on. You're not trying to get in the mix. Yeah. Like we would say, we don't want no smoke. We ain't trying to get involved, kind of thing. So that's kind of the technical definition of, you know, what that attitude kind of means. And what I meant in the context of the song was, you know, you know,
yeah,
not wanting to. It's just like having this kind of state of brokenness where it's like you kind of get to this point where it's like, man, whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And let me just not even. It seems like it's too tall of a task to try to pull yourself out of that than it is to just, well, we in it.
Let it be.
Let it be.
And speaking of letting it be, there was one line specifically in there. There was a couple lines, but I'll start off easy. You talked about seeing a certain someone on like social media.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of, and I tried to encapsulate, right, the laissez-faire. Like while I'm hearing it, I'm trying to think of letting it be, right? Mm-hmm. And I just kind of wanted to feel what you felt when you were writing that, you know, like I know exactly that feeling, right? And what I'm describing is the feeling of seeing a certain someone on social media, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not what it was, right? So you are now just this viewer like everyone else. I don't know if you follow this person, I don't know if they follow you, but let's say for the sake of argument, you don't follow them and it just came across. And you are just this bystander of seeing this person who you knew, but you don't know. What is that feeling of now? And did it change? Like, would it change today than it did when you first made that song?
Well, how it felt in the moment was like deflating. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was like, dang. You know, sometimes the timing of things is just off. You know, whether you and the person, depending on, you know, whether y'all was on the same page or not. But I got a line in there. It's like, I'm dodging your post. You pop up again. If there was no business, I'll be off the ground.
Yeah.
Pretty much saying, like, if I wasn't trying to promote stuff.
Yeah,
I don't have
on here.
I don't have an actual need for social media. I don't post my social life on or my personal life on social media. I don't get social like that on social media. It's, you know, I put art out there into the world, and it's just my means for promoting this on the line. I'm like, man, if I wouldn't even, I'm saying to myself, if I wasn't doing this, like writing this song, for example, I don't have a need to. I wouldn't put myself at risk. So it was just that saddening reality of like, dang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like whatever it was didn't work out, or sometimes it ain't even like super deep on like some romantic kind of stuff. Sometimes you just a fan of people who aren't quite a fan of themselves yet.
Whew.
And so they'll have, at least with me, I don't know the exact term, but they'll have like a bit of a soft spot. It's because like I see the little potential that you flash, but I also know where you are. And perhaps I've been there in your shoes. So I know what you may have to do to get out of that. But, you know, to each his own, we all make our own choices. So sometimes it's like that saddening reality of I wanted to, like if you ever want to be there for somebody, but they don't want no one to be there for them. They don't want to be helped, or they don't want no one to approach them in that capacity.
Yeah.
And then if it's on some romantic side, it's like maybe you wanted something and the person wanted it too, but they wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Or whatever reason, it just didn't work out. And sometimes you'd be like, well, maybe we could do something.
Yeah.
It
that
doesn't
glimpse
have
of
to
hope.
be this way.
Yeah.
But you just, man, it is what it is. I just let it be. I'm not even going to get involved.
Laissez-faire. Yeah. Nah, I think it's, whew. Talk a little bit about the strength it takes to letting stuff be, because what you spoke about right before you said that sentence was kind of like that glimpse of hope.
Yeah.
I think every young person has that glimpse of hope with either, again, whether it's romantically or whether it's just a person of the past.
Yeah.
Right? And you see a person of the past, and you see that glimmer of hope of like, oh, but it doesn't have to be this way. All the memories rush back of when shit was copacetic and it was all great and you were just learning about a person and it wasn't that deep. But now that it's so deep, it's like, how does it feel? Or like talk a little bit about that process of like, okay, you get to a point.
Involved.
Yeah. How you keep yourself
Man,
hands up, don't shoot.
Well, one, you got to keep yourself busy. At least that's what I do. You know, you keep yourself busy, productive. You know, you keep your mind off it. That's just practical. And then it's just, I do a lot of journaling, so that helps. I also do a lot of going to the gym and a lot of praying to God, so that helps. But those emotions will still come where it's like, because sometimes with me, I would hate the reality of how things played out. So I'd be like, ain't no way that was supposed to go down like that. Let's go and try this again. Let's hit the reset button.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's hard, bro. It's really no secret sauce to it. It ain't no like, oh, man, I'm just strong like that. Yeah. It's hard. Sometimes you got to, if it's depending on what the situation is, maybe you got to press the block button. Maybe you got to maybe you got to hit the app timer on your own self and be like, I just can't be on this app right now.
Yeah.
You know, there's been times where I've deleted apps. It's like, ain't no point in me being on here, and so I'm going to just take this app off my phone. I ain't going to miss it. Still don't miss the apps.
I heard that.
You know what I mean? So everyone has their own way of doing it, but with me, it's just, you just got to keep going forward. And I was actually thinking about this earlier today. Sometimes the hardest thing for me personally to do is to do the thing I've already been doing. Sometimes the hardest thing for me to do is to go forward. And I be known to go for it. I'm already going for it. But, like, dang, in this season, it just feels a lot harder to go for it than it did before.
Wow.
You know, depending on what I'm dealing with. But
that actually ties in perfectly to another question. Hold on. You said you talked about moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of moving forward, one of the songs in your project that, like, made me feel like, okay, now we're moving forward was actually, like, towards the beginning. It was, like, all these years.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I was like, wow. I love the chorus. It felt like the more and more that I heard it, it felt more like a chant than it did a chorus.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I'm actually hyping myself up.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, you spoke a lot about like not giving up, and I kind of wanted to, and over the course of years, right? Because you're talking about all these years. You're not talking about
all
months
these
and
weeks.
weeks. Yeah. So with all these years, I guess one of my questions is when it comes down to not giving up on something, right? That you're passionate about for so many years. Do you feel as though as the years have gone on, you've gotten a stronger resolve to not give up, or do you feel like it's been actually harder as you've gotten better at whatever it is that you're pursuing for more and more time?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Thanks. Straight to the top of the dome, yo. Shout out my mom and my father.
I feel like for me, it's so it depends on how you want to look at it. You could be like, you can give up for the same reason that another person can keep going forward. So, like, man, it's been all these years and ain't nothing really panned out how I wanted to go. Everything else happened but this. All right, but I'm chilling, bro. It's been all these years. Or, man, it's been all these years and
I might as well.
I'm getting better and I might as well keep going. So that's kind of, I try to simplify it for me, you know what I mean? And just also, you know, take note of the little small wins. You know what I mean? So, like, something like, you know, you don't let them get to your head, but also take note of them at the same time. So, for example, something like a Mac Mall feature. If I met Mac Mall like 3-4 years ago, he probably wouldn't fool with my music. You know what I mean?
That's fire.
You know, something like I was out in Vallejo and I met La Russell. I performed, and then I met La Russell, and La Russell performed. That probably wouldn't happen 3-4 years ago if they heard my stuff. Or last year when we were getting looked at labels. Before a lot of like industry layoffs and stuff like that happened. That doesn't happen years ago. You know what I mean? But it's the fact that I kept going and got to, even though nothing materialized, it's just the fact that I had that kind of look.
Yeah.
Shows that, okay, if they're able to look at me, even if it was just for a year, then they must have saw something worth looking at.
I heard that. Yeah.
Even though if you go on you check monthly listeners, I'm not like 6-7 figure monthly listeners or something like that, or you know what I mean? There's a bunch of people with way more Instagram followers than me, way better engagement, but they must have saw something to where they are like, yeah, we know that, but we're not even going to focus on that. There's something there.
There's something there, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to take note of those small. I can't even call it small because being looked at as by a label of any sort is major for an artist. But you got to take note of those things and not get caught up in that kind of, because you could compare and that'll ruin everything for you. But like, man, I'm not on Kendrick status. They were like, well, you an up-and-comer. You're not supposed to be yet. You know what I mean? You know, I don't have a record not like us. Well, you still building your fan base. Of course you don't. You know what I mean? You got to kind of be realistic with it, but still have those somewhat delusional ambitions. You know what I mean? So that's how I kind of keep it going.
That's beautiful, man. And wow, I love that. I love how you simplified it into the perspective of like, it's really a choice. You could see these hard years as being like, well, you're further and further away from not doing what you want, or you're further and further closer to the goal that you've envisioned for yourself.
Right.
And on that journey, you've gotten better and better.
Yeah. And everyone around me has gotten better too. So, you know, I mean, I shout out Brandon all the time on this episode, but on this show, but Brandon's gotten better. Well, me and Brandon's been working together, aside from us being boys and brothers since high school, years before we even got into the creative space. We started working with each other at the same exact time. Yeah, when Brandon picked up the camera, I picked up the microphone.
Hey, I think we have a similar story.
Yeah,
we have a similar story.
You know, when Junior started mixing and mastering, I remember when he pitched his stuff. We met in college. You know, so when you're getting better and the people around you that you trust with this is also getting better, in my mind, it's like, well, I can't give up because I feel like I'm letting everyone else down too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They've been working with me all these years too. So it's not just me in mind.
I heard that.
And then you for me, you think about the other people, or in my case, other connections I may have in the industry that have used their name and reputation to help me out and get into spaces that I couldn't get into before on my own. I think about that kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, you know, there's people that believe in me. So even on the down days where I'm having my moments of self-doubt, it's like I take note of those things and I'm like, okay, we're just going to keep going. We one more project closer. We one more song closer. We one more podcast episode closer. Let's just keep going. See how this plays out.
Chipping it down.
Yep.
Chopping down that tree.
Chopping trees.
And it's I also made I guess my own version of all these years. I feel like it's probably a different tone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a song that I actually just put out called Slavin'.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the vibe that I was going for. I really was, I guess the perspective in which I wrote it, it was a couple years ago, but I was writing it from the perspective of like kind of toiling away at like jobs first, right? Because you have this creative space where you're like, oh, I'm going to be this and I believe in it and I'm getting better. And then you have this job where you're like, okay, I'm getting promoted, I'm working hard. And at one point, I'm even putting in more hours here than I am here. And I feel like for me, it was like an ongoing theme in life. It's like, yeah, you've always had this thing that you're passionate of, but you spend more time clocking in and clocking out somewhere else. And it felt like I was at one point slaving, right? But for me, it was like two masters, right? So I was like, okay, I have this master where I'm clocking in and clocking out, and then this other master, which is not supposed to be a master, but I'm slaving for it, which was music, right? It's supposed to be this beautiful thing that I'm passionate about. And in the song, the whole gist of it was, you know what? I'm going to choose to run away from both. I'm going to be this runaway slave from both. And it's so funny how that kind of materialized in life after like while I was like not putting it out, my life was literally, I was leaving this job, I was leaving this relationship, I was leaving music, and it was like, wow, I look at my 2024 and that song literally was my 2024, just trying to run away and be free of something and like try to escape. And it's crazy to like say out loud and to look at that song and to look at my life and to see where I am now, where it's like, dang, now I'm all the way back in. I'm all the way back in it, you know what I mean? And to the point where kind of like you said, you see the connections, you see the things that you've been able to accomplish, you know, the people who show you love in the music industry, and the greatness that's all around you to be grasped. It's definitely been an interesting journey, but that all these years song really reminds me of my slaving. And it's funny, like yours was like triumphant. Yours was like, you know, all these years I'm gonna keep going.
We in the gym with this song.
Me, I was like,
what I mean?
bye bye. Yeah, and it's dope though, because it made me get back in that shed and be like, wow, is that really how I feel? And it makes me think about this new project that I have coming out soon. It's gonna be a joint project. EP with my boy TJ. I talked about it a little bit last time, but it's more of my triumphant story now.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to get straight into that.
Oh, man, I'm ready for it.
I know you had some more questions, but I was listening to this joint a couple times, and you actually answered one of my questions because I was like, okay, this looks like it's a joint project. At first, I thought it was going to be solo, but now I was like, okay, it's a joint. All right, man, cool. Tell me about People Please. Tell me. I got a question in particular, boy. You hit me. I just love when projects just hit you right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Voice memos.
Yes, sir. That's the one.
Voice memos. It's like that one. I had to just kind of rewind that a couple times because I'm like, I wanted to ask, bro, and maybe this is too deep for the pod. Luckily, we not live and we can edit this out.
Nah, it's good. I ain't scared. Hey, watch me cut this out.
I'm thinking, don't cut it out yet, Chris. Let me decide. I'm thinking because, okay, we talked about laissez-faire, and then we bringing up voice memos, and I'm like, is this coming from a space where it's like we haven't reached that point to where we're fully comfortable in a relationship, in a connection with another person? It ain't gotta necessarily be something romantic, but just in general.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. When I was writing voice memos, it's interesting that you said comfortable, right? And it's funny because when I think of that song, I actually think about the comfortability with myself. And I realized that voice memo, like if somebody was to just steal my phone, and go through my voice memos from day one, from all the way, probably 2017, my first freestyle.
Yeah.
And to scroll up, you would actually see the timestamp of like emotions in my life that I haven't shared, you know. And I think I always come off as this funny dude. Like this dude is always looking for a joke, or like whenever you're around me, it's like sunshine, rainbows, gumdrops, and which is lit. You know, I love that part of me. You know that I always try to make the air light. You know, life is hard.
Lighten the mood.
Man, voice memos was when it was me being honest. It was me finally finding some honesty within my music and myself, and it's like, damn, I don't even know me like these voice memos. Wow. You know, I haven't expressed enough emotions in the world to let alone into a relationship. So I guess to answer your question, yes, as well for relationships. I feel like, shoot, I didn't even know me enough at that point. So for me to try to love somebody, or for me to try to understand anybody, when the understanding for self is kind of low, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm finally getting to like an understanding, I guess, of emotional intelligence, only because I've been forced to be alone. Yeah, I think God, shout out God. I believe in God, you know. I think God forced me to be alone, meaning like it wasn't my choice. If it was my choice, I'd still be this codependent little boy. But fortunately and unfortunately, I've had to like see what it's like to like be that lone wolf and really like try to survive, like not feeling like you have so much of a tribe or anybody to lean on or depend on or to call up, you know.
Yeah, from an emotional standpoint.
From an emotional standpoint.
Yeah, so then in that moment, you got to deal with yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You got to. I can relate.
Yeah.
I can relate, bro. So, yeah, that one struck me because I like in traditional song structures, that chorus is what's going to drive the emotion or the message home.
Yep.
And so that chorus really struck me. I was like, do you know me? Do you know me? Like these voice memos.
Yeah,
it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's kind of deep, like that kind of vulnerability. So when I heard that, I was like, for you it's a voice memo. For me, it's my journal.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? And that's funny because the first line that I said something like, just like a journal, except it speaks.
Yeah.
Because my voice memo plays, you know what I mean? Your journal is got to play into your mind.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was going for. It's like, this is literally my live journal.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was dope. I thought that was amazing. So we got a joint. What made you and TJ want to agree to do this? What made y'all? Was it just y'all? Did it start off with, oh, let's collab on a song, and oh, this song was dope, let's do another one?
Story time.
Like, how did this happen?
So I'm gonna try to make it quick. Long story short, 2024 was like me again, like kind of giving up on the musical industry or whatever. So I forget the exact timeline, but I don't know if it was the end of 2023. Anyway, I had thrown a show, and it was my first show that I thrown. I put a whole bunch of dope people on the lineup. TJ was one of those people. KD too. Shout out KD.
Oh, okay, yeah, shout out KD.
Yeah, and it was a really cool event. They did their thing. I bring it up because that was the last time that I did anything musical. Really? All of 2024. Like, it was like this big bang. I was like, oh, it's all lit. I was like, all right, I'm done. And then it just so happened that TJ, he reached out to me, and it was literally like, 2025, you know, and he reached out and he was like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm going to enter into the Tiny Desk concert. Would you be able to play bass? You were the first person that I thought of. Mind you, little does he know I haven't done anything musically, whether it's pick up a bass, play anything, sing anything, make a song. And it was dope that he said that I was the first person he thought of. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm probably going to say no, right? Like, this is not something that I want to do. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't seen him in a while. Maybe it'll be fun to just pick it up. Yeah. And it gave me a challenge. All I had to do was learn like one song or two songs. So I did it. Little did I know that was TJ's first time getting back into the music industry, was him doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, and his girl was the one who forced him to even do it. He didn't even like, oh, I'm trying to do this. It was like, all right, I'll do it. got all his people together and literally birthed both of our inspirations to get back into it. We end up having like some 5-hour conversations, you know, just geeking out over like life and how tough it's been and like how we both kind of quit, and we both literally zeroed in. Like we have the conversations, you know, that the little sneak peeks. They will come out in some kind of way, but yeah, man, and we narrowed down that damn we were both just people pleasing the whole time.
Really? That's how y'all got
I swear to God. And when I brought him voice memos, bro, because I had just made it. Like, after we spoke, I made it, like, the next day. Sent it to him, and he was like, what? But he hopped on it, like, immediately. And from there, it was like, every time I would come over, it'd be, like, another 6-hour conversation. And then I would make another song and bring it to him. And it just kept happening.
Oh, wow.
And we have all the conversations in between as well.
That's organic.
Yeah, that's been the first time I've ever made an organic project.
Wow.
It's always been like preconceived. Like I
Like
already
you have a
thought,
concept of mine, and you go.
had no concept, bro. Just life experience and really great conversation, really deep, raw conversations.
Oh, that's dope, because it is a very relatable project. Like, you got joints on here that remind me of some of my stuff, like Down Bad. That got me thinking about, oh yeah, because like y'all was Down Bad is about you know cash and so and all that kind of stuff, and then the chorus for all it's like it's that aspiration of just not. I don't want to be broke no more. I don't want to be down.
That's it,
you know, I was literally, I kid you not, the inspiration for that song, and it's gonna be hilarious. But the inspiration to that song was literally just like me looking up housing prices on Zillow and feeling like I ain't got a shot out here.
Yeah.
You know, but on the same time, I'm like, nah, man, forget all that. I'm going to rise up, da-da-da. But I just kind of had my frustration I just let my frustration take over. You know what I'm saying? Always seeing my loved one struggling is, well, these days come and go. These dollars only go as far as Lil Tyler throws.
Yeah.
Like, they don't go nowhere, bro. So I see the relatability in that one and in this whole project in general. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is like real life, everyday music here.
Yeah, usually like I'm just trying to be light or like if you were to look at any of my songs prior to this year, right? Like Ice-T or like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just happy and I'm trying to be in love and I'm trying to get closer to what it's like to love another person. Mm-hmm. This project is me trying to love me.
Oh, that's
good. And that's why it's been very interesting. Even the way that I depicted that song, Down Bad, it's about being broke. It sounds like a fun song, and when we make the video, it's gonna be hilarious. You know what I mean? And it's funny. That's just kind of how my life feels. You know, feels like a tough comedy. You know what I mean? Like I laugh it off, but there's a lot of things that have been like very difficult to express, especially money. You know, like as a man, like money is almost tied into the pride and ego of the California or the American man. You know what I mean?
We're men, provider. We gotta if we gotta make some of ourselves out here. So we feel like our cash is low. And like, what we doing? You know what I mean? Like cash is like, what we doing out here?
What we doing?
You know what I'm saying? But I respect that, and I just love the vulnerability of this one, and the fact that it just feels like you just letting it all out there.
Yeah.
You and TJ. So do you feel like, because we got the idea of people pleasing, and then you said that you were trying to love yourself more through this project. Do you feel like progress was made by the time you got to the end?
Man, I think progress was made when I allowed myself not to run from me. And I think running back to me or like finding me was like putting it down on paper and like putting it into some of these songs was the beginning, I should say, of that process of getting back to me.
Mm-hmm. That's good, bro. That's good stuff. So we people pleasing less or not at all?
We are.
Is this something that is this the kind of thing that you fight off continuously?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always a conscious choice. I think the toughest part about boundaries, right? I think the toughest part about boundaries, for one, is not knowing what a boundary is, and when you finally like draw those lines, that it's not so set in stone that like you have no one. I think
sometimes we can be extreme on both sides.
I think the interesting thing about like self-love and like boundaries and not people pleasing is like you realize there's like less people when you love you. There's less people around you when you get like kind of stronger, because in reality, if you people please a lot, right, you won't realize that a lot of people around you are actually not genuine. You know what I mean? Because when you set boundaries, right, and you don't people please, you realize like, I don't want to be around this kind of energy. This kind of energy doesn't want to be around me. Or somebody asks you to do something, I don't want to do that. Why would I say yes? And I think I realized that people pleasing is just you trying to be liked or loved by everybody else. That's all it is. So it's like I've always kind of, in a way, searched for that outside love, whether it's a homie or a relationship, and making sure to ride for that person, ride or die, right? But I've also discovered, you could do that for you. You could ride and die for you. You could ride and die for you. Yeah. And to a positive extent, it doesn't have to be like egotistical or like this bravado or this like fake character. You could literally ride for you. You could be your biggest cheerleader. You don't have to necessarily look for anything to affirm you other than your self-belief and your belief in God.
Yeah. Belief in God. You feel me?
Shout out G.O.D.
Shout out G.O.D. I don't know about y'all, but I put Christ first in everything I do. But I love that and I respect that. And I like me some R&B, bro. So it's like when I'm hearing this vibes, I'm like, bro, I can just keep listening to this and not skip nothing, bro.
Thank you.
Especially something like, I got somewhere far to
go. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Somewhere far to go. I was like, bro, I'm right there, bro. I'm trying to make it, trying to get a sign, trying to do the thing. You know what I'm saying? But this is currently unreleased, right?
Unreleased.
Any release plans for this?
Yeah, we're actually planning to release this hopefully around my birthday. I know we're gonna have some singles out by then. My birthday is in September 1st. Okay. So around September, October, I want the whole project out. But if not, I know I'm gonna have some singles out.
A couple of songs.
Yeah. Definitely some singles out because. Kind of like what we talked about last time. When you get to release a song, you get to release the emotion.
Yes, bro.
You get to release the emotion. Yeah. Like we're talking about just as we started this. Yeah. You get to release. You finally like this. I want to feel like I want that first sip of that soda on a hot summer day, and you that's what I want to feel like.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I can't wait, bro. Matter of fact, bro, I'm actually really curious about them other questions that you had of me, bro.
Oh, I got you.
I'm really curious, bro.
Because trust me, bro. It wasn't even there yet.
We were supposed to go light, and we started off with laissez-faire.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm really curious.
So I think this is, I don't know how much you necessarily want to divulge because, like, the question is kind of broad, but it kind of encompassed like the whole project. Yeah. When I was listening to it, right, it sounds triumphant. It sounds like there's been some times, some trying times, and I guess I was just really curious about like how you've been through these low moments. You know what I mean? Like what? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like on some real like trying to be the best. Deshaun, the best Xavier. What did that look like? You know what I mean? Because I'm listening to these lyrics, right? Yeah. And I'm listening to somebody, a young man, battling against self, against lust, against like just against wanting to attach or detach from all these worldly things, but still like be the man.
Right. It's like detached. Like I don't want to be attached, but I want to be present at the same time.
Yeah.
It's that duality. Man, bro. Dog.
Yeah.
It's been rough. Like I get in these spaces where I'm like, I feel like everything else is happening, but the thing that I'm trying to make happen, it'd be like something financial that's out of my control, but it could be something there. It could be relationship stuff. It could be like I'm I'm journaling earlier today, processing things that happened to start this year off. So this is in real time. You know what I mean? And anyone who's kept up with the show or kept up with my music knows that I process and put out art in real time. And so there's these moments, there's been a lot of moments where I'm like, I'll get beat down by life. And me, I'm the kind of person where I want to be the best version I can be. So when I'm going to somebody that's close to me to vent, I'll be like, look, I'm about to tell you everything that went down. I want you to tell me how wrong I am. If I'm wrong, I want you to smack me upside the head. If I'm, check me. I want to be checked. And there was things that was happening where I would go to the people close to me and then just tell them everything, and they'd be like, well, yeah, obviously you could have did this better, did that better, but this ain't really on you, bruh. And so finding myself in these situations is where, like, kind of like laissez-faire, where, like, dang, something went down that I can't fix because it ain't even really on me, but it impacts me. You know what I mean? I remember, and there's been, bro, to start this year off, there was heartbreak, there was mourning loss, and then next thing you know, I'm on the operating table having surgery. This is all within like a 12-day span in January. And I remember just laying in my room, like, can't move, barely, on pain medication because I just had surgery. And I'm like, kind of like how you're like, forced to deal with yourself. Now I'm like, how did I even get here?
Yeah.
I can't go to the gym and process my stress physically like I normally do. I'm in too much pain to sit up and write anything. I'm just stuck on pain medication, not eating a whole bunch because I'm in a whole lot of pain. Can't get hungry like that. And I'm like, bruh, it's been hard, man. I can write books on the stuff that I'm still processing. So I'm like, I don't know what can and cannot be said publicly.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because earlier in the conversation, you talked a little bit about how, like, sometimes when you want to not think about something, you make yourself really busy, right? And I think God works in mysterious ways, as they always say, right? And it's interesting how He could sit you down no matter what. No matter what you think you're about to do or what you finst to do, He will sit your ass down and make you really process what you have to process, like, forcibly.
And that was me earlier this year. And it was, but, God got me, so I'm good on that regard. But, like, when I'm in a stage now where I'm like, I was telling a homeboy of mine, it's like I feel like I really just need to sit and process everything. Because I'm not trying to get sat down again, so to speak.
I want facts. You'd rather take it in stride.
Let me take it in stride. Let me take in everything and process everything because, from relationships going south suddenly, and then other things happening in the family, and then I felt like I got to a point where I was spread too thin, stretched too thin, but couldn't reel it in. So in those moments, since a lot was out of my control, just about everything, it was like, you're either gonna sit there and whine, or you gonna go to God and pray that He strengthens you to be able to hold up this newfound weight that is just dropped into your lap. And so I'm battling all of these things. And I also got the business. This is all outside of music that has nothing to do with music, has nothing to do with transparency, nothing to do with the podcast. It's all of these things happening. And I still got to go out and chase my dream. So there's moments this year that kind of plays into a bit of the concept of long live. There's moments like, man, I don't feel like doing this
anymore.
Like, I was at such a creative high with the dream, and we was there, and then we had some doors shut in our face, and we took business trips to meet people who never got on a plane to go and meet us, and all these kind of things. And then personal life things happen. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like showing up. I don't feel like podcasting. I don't feel like performing. I would be doing shows, and instead of being like, okay, I'm getting that extra rep in, it's like, let me just hit this stage and go home.
Yeah.
So it's like it started being like a chore, but it's like I don't want to fall into this mental trap where it's like I don't want to do this no more because I know it's gonna be even tougher to pull yourself out
Once you get more of it.
Yeah, and so long live. If you actually put the two projects together, it's long live the dream, and it's keeping that. No, just keep it going. So this one actually felt like my discipline project, whereas the dream was like, yo, we got these new opportunities. We got to raise the bar because we don't know if we'll ever capitalize or get another opportunity. God's plan always trumping my plan. It was like, okay, here's the reality we set with. Are we gonna stop? No, we gotta keep going. But I ain't feeling that motivated. I don't feel like going. We gotta go on your discipline. Do what you know you gotta do. I don't feel like it. So
You still gotta do it.
get up and do it. You know what I mean?
Let's talk a little bit about how you put those two concepts together. Long live the dream.
Yeah.
I think it struck me because I've been in this recent state of mind where I'm trying to capture the little boy who used to dream. I feel like as a kid, there was no limit to your dreams, right? You could fly, you could shoot something out of your hands if only you made a sound effect. You know what I mean? You could have a remote and turn it into a sword.
Right.
And
For me, it was the Force.
you feel me? You feel me? You got something in there that was born with you, right?
Yeah.
And as we get older, those dreams and sometimes that imagination, not everybody, right?
everyone.
But sometimes that imagination starts to wane, right? You start not to see the big stages anymore. You don't see the collabs. You don't see the labels. You don't see that because you're feeling all these different things that life is bringing you. So as you're writing this project, right, and you're saying long live, talk a little bit about that battle with keeping a dream or believing that there's more, because a dream is seeing something that's not there.
Yeah, that's faith. You know, for all of my believers out there, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That's in the Bible. It's really just faith. You know, faith in God, and your faith have to be present when your motivation is not. Because motivation comes and goes. It's like any other emotion.
Yep.
You know, I had a rough ending to my day yesterday, and it's a true story. I had a rough ending. And no, the night before yesterday, I had a rough ending to that day, and then had a rough beginning to, yesterday morning. But by the end of the day, I was like, yo, I feel amazing. Motivation is like any other emotion. It comes and goes. So I like to rely on my discipline and, my faith in God. But it gets hard because we human.
Yeah.
And it gets rough when you in my shoes and you feel like everything else is happening, but there's things I never expected happening. People doing things, showing sides of themselves I never, thought I'd ever see. And all of this impacts your will to just even try anything. You know what I mean? And so it's tough. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't even know how I do it. But if I don't keep going, I feel like I fall into a dangerous mental cycle.
Yeah.
Because I notice with myself, I'm kind of susceptible to depression or depressive types moods. And so I feel like if I don't keep going, then it just gives me space where I'm doing nothing to overthink on all of the things that have gone wrong.
Yeah.
And aren't happening, which puts me in a mentally dark hole.
Yep.
And I noticed just through projects like Transparent 2, old project of mine, if I'm not intentionally keeping myself above water through prayer and just doing the things that I know, I'm trusting in God for, then I will find myself
unintentionally drowning.
And then when you get in that sunken place, from my experience, it seemed like, matter of fact, I know from experience, it takes a longer amount of time to pull myself out than it is to get in there. You know what I mean? And so that's how I just kind of keep going. There's moments where it's hard. I'll be doing shows and I'll kill the stage and you won't even know how much I was fighting to even get myself on that stage.
Yeah. Nah, I can definitely feel that. Or just being in the moment where, like, you're on stage and everyone else would probably feel as though you're having the time of your life, and like you're up there contemplating if this is like your last ride. You know what I mean? This might be my last one. It
might be my last show,
one.
bro. I don't know if I got it in me. No, this is real, bro.
Yeah, and then you get off stage, and then like you're sometimes or hopefully swarmed with like love and affirmation of why you should keep going. Yeah. It's always interesting how mysterious it is that God works, because sometimes it's like immediately in the moments where you're faltering, something happens in which it's like, nah, this is the next step. This is what happens next, or this is what you should feel. Like, let's take away these thoughts and let's make sure that we're being implanted and being blessed and being planted with certain seeds that are about to harvest. If only you would allow yourself to allow God to water them.
Yeah, and that's just what I've been learning. It's like you just gotta let God do what He do.
Yeah, and
I have tried to do so many things.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can put them in books, memoirs of the things. And I'm 25 at the time of us shooting this. My birthday had passed by the time this come out, but so much has happened within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
2 years. 1 year. 6 months. And I'm not joking, bro. I know, look, bro, I got witnesses to these things. I can put them in books because I've tried so many things, whether it's in my personal life or in my career, and I'm at the point now. Maybe this has come with just trying so many things, or it's just come with a little bit of age and experience. But it's just like I'm gonna do the best I can, but God's just gonna do what He do,
and it's always gonna work out better in that way.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where I'm at. You know, when I put out that song Slavin', many people don't know, but Slavin' was actually the day that marked my last day at my 9-to-5 job.
Wow.
You know, and that was an incredible opportunity, you know, like that job with it being a family-owned business and everything, and the company was doing amazing. But I just decided to let go and let God, you know what I mean? Like, I believe in me. I believe in this dream, right? And I'm trying to have it live long. And I think the only way I personally could do that was, like, to start that arc of, like, how is it going to happen if it was based on me believing in me? And, bruh, the amount of opportunities that, like, have been shown through that it's a beautiful thing. Prior to that, I had never even really been asked to be on a showcase, solo dolo. Like, I'm up there, like, not me going out there to get the opportunity. Like, somebody reaching out and being able to be blessed with an opportunity to grace a stage, even solo dolo. So, and I got to perform at Lake Fest in Oakland, like that, bro. That all those little small wins, right? Yeah. You really gotta, like, hone in on those small wins, and again, not let them go to your head, but at the same time, let them stick just enough to believe in you for the next go around. Yeah, you know what I mean, and that's where I'm at. I'm on straight belief, faith, and free meals at Outside Lands. That's what I'm being fueled by right now.
That's good, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm learning along the way, and you just keep going, bro. You know, if I don't do nothing else, I'm just finna keep going.
I heard that.
I done been through too much. I've been through so much. There's some stuff that I don't think it ever gonna make it in the music. There's some stuff. There's some stuff you got to be like this with me in order to know
what you're talking about.
If you like this, you could be close, but you may not know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You got to be scrunch your fingers up all of it. You got to be that close.
Got to be that number one.
You got to be that tight. You know what I mean? But that's ultimately the heart of Long Live. And on the project, I talk about, you know, the sacrifices. You know what I mean? And I was so touched by that concept that we did the remix. And I had a whole new fresh verse because more things happened since I did the original. And that's where songs like Sacrifices come from. Songs like, oh yeah, songs like All These Years. You know, songs like Long Live. You know, songs like Laissez-Faire. All of these come from this struggle of just, man, I'm going forward like I know I'm supposed to, but I keep encountering X, Y, Z, da, da, da.
Also, before we go on, speaking of oh yeah, I don't want to scroll past this. Speaking of oh yeah, I love that vibe so much that I almost Is that the last song on the project, or is it?
No, the last song is the Sacrifice remix.
Okay,
featuring
so,
KD, Mac Mall, Moriana Jack.
So, oh yeah, right. Because in the sequential order that it was sent, oh yeah was the last one.
Yeah.
So, and when I was listening to it last, it almost made me mad. I wanted to hear more of that vibe. I love how you sound on slow song. Like, maybe it's because I'm an R&B. You know what I mean? Like, it's the singer in me. Mm-hmm. But I loved hearing how you sounded on that type of flow. I can't wait to hear more of, like, that specific style. Like, no cap, bro. Yeah. No cap. Because I love how you sounded throughout the entire project. It was just something real, something raw when it gets down to those certain jazzy type of vibes where it's like, now you got to really speak.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I think that's one thing that I guess I was intentional or it just kind of played out that way, but I kind of slowed it down a bit on this project.
You did.
I slowed it down.
It's my favorite project so far. You know, I think the slower it gets, I'm just going to be like, damn, now I'm a super fan.
Like, that, it's crazy because, I was in a moment. This was one of those moments where I'm like, it's finally out. But I was in a moment where I was like kind of in that, I was almost kind of getting back into that depressive mood. And this is the night the project came out. Because I'm thinking about everything I tried to do that just didn't happen. But we got to stay consistent, so we put the project out. And I put it out, and I set it to New York time. So 12 a.m. New York is 9 p.m. West Coast. We Bay Area out here. So 9 p.m. out here, you're able to listen to it. And I put it out. Went on my parents' devices. Okay, yep, it's up. It's 9 p.m. Okay, it's actually up. And then my dad was like, oh, man, I'll listen to this right now. And then he came into the room and was like, man, bro, this caught my attention after 5 minutes. Okay. And then went back and this is just that was the first song, Another Chance. And then he got done listening to it and he's like, man, that is your best work. Nah, nah, nah. And me, I'm over here like, he don't even know. If he watches this, he'll know now. But I was mentally fighting that. Don't go back in that depressive mood. I don't know if it was because it was nighttime and it being dark just kind of mentally does something. But, don't go back in that depressed mood. And then my dad came in there like, yo, this is your best stuff. Oh, my gosh.
See what I'm saying about how it's like the right moment? Yeah. It's like you were right there on the cusp of like, I'm going to just let go and fall into this feeling. And then, boom, it happens immediately.
Yeah, and then I post, me and Brandon, we've been shooting some short-form content for the project, and we got more content that we want to shoot. Because now I'm big juice. I'm pushing this to the wheels fall off.
I heard that.
We shot some content for the remix, and we're big on shooting music videos, but I was like, we're going to definitely do our music videos, but I just want to do some short-form content just for the songs that we wouldn't normally do a video for. And we did a short-form content for the remix, and I posted it and just sent it to a bunch of people, and then everyone was like, yeah, this is the... And I'm like, I'm at my job. I'm at work just staring at my phone like, look at all of these comments. Yeah. People sharing it. Like, they're going nuts. And I'm like, it's crazy how that worked. Because, like, little do they know feel like I was struggling to even just release that joint just mentally. And it's out, and we did the thing, and it's just like, wow. So it's stuff like that, them little small wins. So with me, I can get so caught up in my head that I'll never really know how good I'm doing, if at all. And so when someone like my dad comes and like, yo, this is your best stuff. Like, my goodness. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Maybe we got something here. Let me stop tripping real quick.
It's always the people you respect the most who have those words that are like heavy.
Yeah.
And I think it's beautiful that you have somebody that you respect enough for it to even get through your own personal battles.
Yeah. Shout out Pops.
That was a crazy mic drop. I was like, dang, is that the end? That was crazy.
Shout out Pops. My family's always been, my biggest encouragers and supporters and stuff. My very first performance was in front of my family at our church. So I wasn't expecting much, but when he always give me, props and respect when the music is good. And he'll even let me know, like, this one was okay. I don't like this one and stuff like that. My people was very honest. But, when he came in and said that, I was like, oh, wait a minute. let me get out of my mental rut.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And then when we posted the clip, I was like, oh, shoot. Because I was going to do kind of like what you was doing with your performance. Drop it, all right, I'm done for the year.
Yeah.
I'm deleting Instagram.
Yeah,
I'll come back
exactly.
when I'm ready.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, nah.
I'm already ready.
I can't stop, bro. You got to keep going a little bit. Let's just go. Let's take it another month. Take it another. Let's just take the little steps and stuff like that. See where this goes.
I think that's
Long live.
I think that's a beautiful way to wrap all this up, to think about one more step, one more month. Long live that dream.
Long live the dream.
Yes, Lord.
That's part 1 and 2 of a three-headed monster. We'll see what the third one. I've already started working on it. I've been working on this little three-headed conceptual projects thing for years. So we'll see what the third one's looking like.
Come on now.
But yeah, as of right now, Long Live is out on all platforms. It's getting dark.
Yes,
and I feel like
facts.
I feel like there's still a lot more to break down.
Facts.
But it's getting dark. Sun's going down. My new project is called Long Live. It's out on all platforms. I got links to the descriptions. Links to our socials also in the descriptions. Links to where you can listen and download this podcast episode as well in the description. I would link it. It's not out yet.
It's not out yet, but I do have My Values and Slavin out right now. We talked a little bit about My Values last time, but yeah, I'll make sure that he slides those links in. But yeah, it's been amazing to be able to have these musical conversations.
Yes, sir. I'm glad we were able to do this again. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Brandon. Shout out Chris. Shout out right here, right now. Shout out Demiere. Shout out Unrehearsed. Shout out everybody. We love y'all. Like I said, links to all of that in the description. To stay tapped in with us, stay up to date on everything we got going on, shows, music, merch, videos, content, all that good stuff. And we will see y'all. Y'all be smooth. It's dark.
Lord.
There you go.
Gang.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.
Come home on the